students, welcome to the skill development session under ITRC. Myself Praveen Singh, vocational teacher at Government High School, BEHRI, SAMBA. In today's presentation session, we will discuss various safety rules to follow at workplace like fire safety, falls and slips, electrical safety, use of first aid, and workplace hazards. So let's start with the first slide. Starting with the basic difference between health and safety. What is health? Health is a state of person who is free from illness and injury. Also, we can say a person to be healthy if he is mentally, physically, and socially strong and balanced. Now, what is safety? It is the condition of being protected from or unlikely to cause danger, risk, or injury. So, we can conclude from the above definitions that the main goal of safety and health program is to prevent workplace injuries, illness, and death. Now we will discuss some basic safety rules follow at workplace. Number one is understand the risk. Once you know the particular hazards of your job or workplace, you can take steps to reduce your risk of work-related injury or illness. So, what does this mean? That whenever a person enters or joins at the workplace, before starting with his work, he should be well aware of the risk that are related to his workplace. So understanding of the risk is very important step while entering any job place, because if you understand the risk at earlier stage, you can control it from going worst, and also you can take the safety measures against all of them. Avoid stooping and twisting. Use ergonomically designed furniture and equipment, and rearrange your work area so that everything you need is within easy reach, and avoid improper postures at workplace. So what does it mean? That at workplace or work area, we should properly arrange all the equipments, including our furnitures, tables, etc., so that the things are within easy reach. And also we should avoid the improper postures at the workplace, like if a worker is pulling the load, he should use or follow proper gesture so that his back or shoulders cannot damage. If he's picking the heavy loads, use the proper things like trolleys or rollers to pull the loads, not overreaching. Like if you have to put something on the top and it is out of your reach, do not stretch your body so that it is it becomes uncomfortable to you, or it harms your back or shoulder. So we should avoid stooping and twisting at the workplace. All of us knows that while working continuously without proper breaks, a person or a worker feels stressed, which automatically get reflected in his work. Stress can lead to many problems like depression, sleeping problems, and also losing concentration. So it is highly recommended these days that a proper working environment should be created for workers so that they can overcome these types of workplace problems. While working, you should keep in mind to take regular breaks or rest so that you will refresh again and work with full concentration again. Proper breaks will improve your work as well as quality. So, while doing works, take a regular breaks to refresh yourself. Next point is use mechanical aids whenever possible. While picking or moving heavy loads, we should use proper mechanical aids designed for it. For example, to carry or lift heavy load, use machineries like wheelbarrow, trolleys, cranes, and etc. Use of proper mechanical aids can reduce the chances of harm or risk. Next safety measure is protect your back. Use proper sitting postures so that your back remains straight, reduces the problem of back pain. And also, if a person is indulged in the work of carrying or lifting heavy loads, should follow proper postures for it because improper body postures while working will increases the chances of harm. If not followed properly, will affect the body and results in the back pain. Precautions are very important because indulging in any type of work, there are a variety of safety equipments designed according to its need. Like we have earplugs that should wear at heavy noise areas, hard hats wear where there is risk of falling something, safety goggles for protecting our eyes, gloves to protect our hands, face mask designed to protect our face from injury and many more. Now, coming to a very important point, that is stay sober. Do not mix working with unsocial activities like drinking and use of drugs because taking of this will make a person unconscious and increase the chances of risk at workplace. Also such activities affects the work culture and put bad effects on co-workers. Knowledge of rights is very important before entering any workplace. If a person does not have a knowledge of his rights, there will be chances that he or she can be dominated by their superiors. So one should know about his rights. Now, coming to the next topic, that is fire safety rules to follow at workplace. What is fire safety? Fire safety is the set of practices intended to reduce the destruction caused by fire. Fire safety measures include those that are intended to prevent ignition of an uncontrolled fire and those that are used to limit the development and effect of a fire after it starts. So, following are some fire safety rules to follow at workplace. Number one, never fight with a fire that is out of control. Get out of the building office quickly. Next is most fires are caused by electrical problems such as damaged wiring, faulty equipments, and the overloaded plug sockets. Always check if your office equipment and appliances are working properly. Fix electrical problems immediately. Overheating can also be cause of fire. If you have heaters at the office, never leave them unattended or place them close to flammable objects as they can spark a fire. When a fire or emergency evacuation does occur, don't panic, keep calm and follow instructions. Contact emergency services for help. Do not enter the area if you are suspect that a life-threatening condition still exists, such as heavy smoke or toxic gases. Do not permit smoking in your computer room or around the people who use the computers. Don't play with matches or lighters at your workplace. Keep your office and dock areas neat and clean. Keep in mind where fire alarm stations and extinguishers are located. Store harmful materials properly in designated areas. Know the proper exits and procedures in case of emergency. Keep exits free of obstructions. Make sure there are good connections and effective grounding in the wire. Handle flammable liquids with caution. Coming to next rule, that is electrical safety rule to follow at workplace. What is electrical safety? Electrical safety is a system of measures and technical means to prevent harmful and dangerous effect on workers from electrical current, electromagnetic fields, and static electricity. Some of the main points that comes under electrical safety rules are as under: don't touch someone who being electrocuted. Make sure your hands are clean and dry before handling any equipment. Don't put fingers or metallic objects in electrical outlets. Don't pull a plug out with its cord. Replace the faulty wires to avoid accidents. Stay away from places marked with warning signs. Coming to next points. Seal all unused electrical outlets. Don't overload outlets. Minimize the use of extension cords. Unplug or disconnect machines before servicing or repairing. Don't ignore the warning signs. If an item feels hot, makes an unusual noise, smokes, or sparks, take it out of the service immediately and tag it "Do not use." Inspect cords and equipments regularly and report any defects immediately. Cover or guard any exposed electrical components or wires. Do not use electrical equipment or appliances near water or wet surfaces. Never use electrical equipments when hands or the equipment are wet. Now, coming to falls and slips safety rules. Number one is keep floors and debris clean and dry so that there should be less chances of slip. Remove all the obstacles in the way as it will create problems in smooth movement of manpower and necessary things. Also use secure mats, rugs and carpets that does not lay flat. Next point is keep the almirah drawers or cabinet properly closed so that it will not hurt the others. Make cables and ropes properly laid so that does not obstruct the pathways. Now, coming to first aid. First aid is an very important component in a workplace. The critical factors which shape first aid facilitates in a workplace are work specific risk and consequences of accidents. At any moment, you or someone around you could experience an injury or illness. Using basic first aid, you may be able to stop a minor mishap from getting worse. In the case of a serious medical emergency, you may even save a life. A standard first aid kit consists of following: adhesive bandages of assorted sizes, absorbent compress dressings, sterilized gauze pads, adhesive cloth, tape, triangular bandages, antiseptic wipes, aspirin, ibuprofen, antibiotic ointment, hydrocortisone cream, calamine lotion, gloves, safety pins, scissors, tweezers, thermometers, breathing barriers, instant cold pack, blanket. Now, what is hazard? When we refer to hazards in relation to occupational safety and health, the most commonly used definition is a hazard is a potential source of harm or adverse health effect on a person or persons. The term hazard and a risk are often used interchangeably, but these simple examples explain the difference between the two. If there was a spill of water in a room, then that water would present a sleeping hazard to a person passing through it. If access to that area was prevented by a physical barrier, then the hazard would remain, though the risk would be minimized. Simply, we can say a hazard is any agent that can cause harm or damage to humans, property, or the environment. Causes of workplace hazards. Number one is fire. The first workplace hazard is the risk of a fire breaking out. There are many different reasons a fire might break out in your building, including chemical spills, machinery or equipment malfunctioning, gases containers, electrical failures, not discarding flammable materials properly, and many other reasons. To protect your employees, have fire extinguishers in the building and educate your employees on how to use them properly. You should also have a designated fire exits. Next is slips and falls. The risk of a slip and fall, which is a risk regardless of where you work and what kind of business you have. A slip could be as simple as a spill in the break room that had not been cleaned up yet, or falling over a computer cord in the easel. Tile and linoleum flooring is also a risk, which is common in break rooms and restrooms. If it was recently waxed, that increases the risk even further. Chemicals. Another workplace hazard you should protect is chemicals. Be sure your employees understand what chemicals they might find in the workplace and how to dispose of them properly. Chemical handling mistakes are a common reason for chemical related illnesses. Chemicals could be anything from liquids and gases to the fumes, dust, solids, or vapors. Ingesting, absorbing in the skin, and inhaling the fumes may all be hazards. Now, coming to electrical hazards. This is a workplace hazard that most employees don't notice until it causes an injury or fire in the building. Electrical hazards could be from liquids near electrical outlets, malfunctioning power strips, extension cords coming into contact with water, or drain cords. There are also hazardous material aside from chemicals that could cause illness to your employees. These include toxic waste and hazardous material that may cause skin infection, burn, respiratory disease, cause an explosion, and fire or even blindness. As with chemicals, be sure employees wear protective gear and practice caution when around any type of hazardous material. Next is workplace violence. Lastly, there is workplace violence, which is hazard, which is more common than you might think. This could be from spouses coming into the workplace and being violent, former employees who come back from some sort of revenge or altercation, or simply violence between co-workers when things get too heated. Have good security and keep a close eye on people visiting your company. So, this is all about various safety rules that one must follow to create healthy work culture and environment. Hope you understand. Thank you for your support and patient listening.